We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with some noteworthy news regarding former WWE champion Bobby Lashley. As many of you are likely well aware, Bobby Lashley is currently out of action from WWE with a shoulder injury, one that was sustained during his match against Brock Lesnar at the 2022 Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. And as a result, if Bobby Lashley was to get surgery for this injury, Bobby Lashley would be out of action for at least 4 months, sadly meaning that Bobby Lashley would be missing WrestleMania 38 this year. However, a breaking new backstage rumor has revealed that Bobby Lashley is apparently currently trying to get medically cleared to return in time for WrestleMania, which has now caused a lot of uncertainty regarding how bad Bobby Lashley's injury actually is, and whether or not he could actually come back in time for WrestleMania, and not take that whole 4 or 5 months away to recover. We have been told that if Bobby Lashley is somehow able to return to the ring a bit earlier, in time for the Showcase of the Immortals, Vince McMahon would try to utilize Bobby Lashley on the WrestleMania card. Although that is all speculation and up in the air at this point, and more details will definitely be revealed in the coming days regarding Bobby Lashley's status in WWE. In some other interesting news about Bobby Lashley, while many fans were disappointed to see Bobby lose his WWE Championship at the Elimination Chamber 2022 pay-per-view event to Brock Lesnar, a new behind-the-scenes report has indicated that following WrestleMania, Vince has some big things in store for Bobby Lashley, who Vince views as a bigger star than most other talent on the current full-time roster. And even though Bobby Lashley will not be in the title picture for WrestleMania 38 and possibly even miss out on the biggest pay-per-view of the year, the remainder of 2022 seems like it will be monumental for Bobby Lashley, and he will likely regain lost momentum after Mania, which is good news, as Bobby Lashley has earned his place at the top of the card in WWE, and deserves to continue getting pushed until his career begins to wind down in a couple of years. Now, if Bobby Lashley is somehow able to be cleared to return in time for WrestleMania 38, who would you like to see Bobby Lashley face off against at the Showcase of the Immortals? Sound off in the comment section below. One of the main event matches at WrestleMania 38 that lots of fans are looking forward to is the title versus title match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the WWE and Universal Championships. While initially, it was rumored that the winner of this upcoming WrestleMania match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar would be winning both the Universal and WWE Championships, WWE revealing on this past week's SmackDown that this will now be a title versus title unification match caught quite a few fans off guard, as this means WWE are planning to unify the WWE and Universal Championships after WrestleMania 38. With there then only being one unified Men's World Championship in WWE following the Showcase of the Immortals. Now, this could reportedly spell bad news for the future of Roman Reigns' Universal Championship after WrestleMania, because apparently once WWE unified the Universal and WWE Championship belts, there will only then be one world champion between Raw and SmackDown, and this likely spells the end of the Universal Championship in WWE, at least for the time being, with one of our sources revealing that in all likelihood, the company will unify the titles and have the one belt called the WWE World Championship, effectively getting rid of the Universal title. Now, this definitely is a bit unfortunate, because while the Universal Championship is certainly one of the WWE's newer titles, without that long lineage and prestige like the WWE Championship, Roman Reigns has elevated that title throughout the past year and a half, and has now had the longest Universal title run in the company's history, and to simply get rid of this belt following WrestleMania is definitely a bit sad, and Roman Reigns reportedly feels the same way. A new behind-the-scenes rumor has revealed that Roman Reigns is angry at WWE for even having this title versus title match at WrestleMania to begin with, because like we've mentioned before, Roman reportedly feels like WWE should have 2 world titles across both brands Raw and SmackDown, and is not a fan of the idea of there only being one world champion in WWE, as it will limit the chances of many superstars ever getting a chance to hold a world championship, which is something that Reigns does not feel is beneficial for WWE. As well, Roman is a bit frustrated that the Universal Championship belt could be getting removed from WWE following WrestleMania, as Reigns feels like he has elevated that title to a new level, and feels that it's way too soon to retire the championship from WWE. We now have some rather unfortunate news regarding former 24/7 champion Elias, who is surprisingly still in WWE and has so far avoided all the major budget cuts from WWE last year in 2021 and now in 2022. Elias has not been seen in WWE since the early summer of last year, and many fans are still wondering exactly what's happened to Elias and what the plans are for him moving forward, if any at all. However, a new report has sadly revealed that Elias' status in WWE is still very much the same as it was last year, and it is far from being good news. Apparently, Elias still has no creative direction in WWE, meaning that as of right now, there are no plans for Elias at the moment, or even in the foreseeable future. It's unknown as of right now whether or not WWE plan to release or fire Elias in the near future, seeing as though the company reportedly have no serious plans for him, hence why Elias has been missing from WWE television for quite some time. But it does seem very possible that Elias could be among the next releases from WWE soon, especially with this latest unfortunate news. We now have some rather sad news regarding Ronda Rousey going into WrestleMania 38 season, and it has to do with Ronda's overall status in WWE. As some of you likely expected, Ronda Rousey is reportedly only going to be with WWE through until WrestleMania 38, where she will face off against Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Apparently, Ronda Rousey had no plans of signing any kind of a long-term deal with WWE to wrestle past WrestleMania, as Ronda's reportedly quite busy and could only make time in her schedule for a WWE return beginning at the 2022 Royal Rumble and going up until WrestleMania 38. In all honesty, while this may be sad news for some of Ronda's fans, it's not overly surprising, seeing as though Ronda Rousey's last appearance in WWE prior to making her return at the Royal Rumble this year was back at WrestleMania 35. This news of Ronda Rousey's short-term contract with WWE definitely causes doubt regarding the possibility of Ronda Rousey winning the SmackDown Women's Championship from Charlotte Flair, because if Ronda is going to in fact be leaving WWE after Mania, it does not seem very likely that WWE would book Charlotte Flair to lose her SmackDown Women's title to Ronda Rousey. This could very well mean WWE plan for Charlotte Flair to go over Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania this year and retain her championship, and if that is the case, that would be a huge career-defining win for Charlotte Flair.